brought to you today by Honey Bun.
When all is done and said, I love me shawty bread. You love your shawty what? I love me shawty bread. And it was made by Honey Bun. I love me shawty bread.
Listeners to Love 101 FM are advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org. And if you're overseas and on the move, US listeners can access at 712-832-8001. And if you're in the UK, 0330-332-6541. Or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube Live. In the first watch today, when men are abused by women, realities and possibilities. In the second watch, is contemporary gospel music moving to the right beat? Examining and evaluating today's gospel music industry. For our social media question, we ask, what are your thoughts on the direction of the Jamaican gospel music industry? Please share your responses on our Facebook page, Love 101 FM, and also whether by post or voice note to WhatsApp 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your responses later on in the program, but before all of that, here's I Quote.
This morning's I Quote: never let success get to your head. Never let failure get to your heart. That's the quote.
Yeah, in other words, remain humble and don't lose hope. Good morning, Shavani.
Good morning, Rev. How are you?
I am doing well, my brother. And you?
Good, thank you. Yeah?
Yes. Listen, in the second watch, we're looking at the gospel music industry. And as I explored that, I was wondering, how are you on the sing-along with Nadine going? The weekly sing-along. It's still going on?
Yes, with the on top of things.
You're on top of things. So, the prospects for an album?
Well, who knows?
That's a good response. Who knows?
I know. Who knows? I know.
All the best with that, my brother. All the best.
Thank you.
I
said,
watch me back after this break. The first watch me back after this break.
Did you say so winning and everybody know this? I some feel like cash and prizes. Million every week, make a run up on the niceness. Call 142 for the richness. DJ, bongs. Did you say I make a rich together? DJ, bongs.
Make we rich together with Digicel. Just call 142 or dial star 142 number sign for a chance to win your share of $42 million in cash and prizes. Each entry costs $100. From now until September 14th, make we rich together with Digicel.
Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
When all is done and said, I love me shawty bread. You love me shawty what? You love me shawty bread. And it was made by Honey Bun. I love me shawty bread.
Bills to pay and funds to transfer? No problem. I do it all on my time with JN Bank Live Online Banking. It's my simple and secure as that online banking.
Phone credit need a top up? No problem. I do it with JN Bank Live Online Banking.
It's quick and easy with just a few clicks. JN Bank Live, online banking that goes where you go. Sign up today. Visit jnbank.com. JN Bank, we'll help you find a way.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Now, in a recent Gleaner article entitled Battered Man's Plea, Aaron Morgan reportedly stated that he often called the police to intervene in domestic violence at his home, but he's not convinced that his cries for help were taken seriously. Because according to him, he's a man. He further stated in the article, and I quote, "Police not send nobody if you come rescue me, all the while me want rescue. All the while mama do the things them and go a station, say me beat her up. And when me go down there, them no want her, they don't want to hear what me I say." End of quote. So, are there men who are really victims of abuse from women? And if so, why is it so? And is it as uncommon as many persons seem to think? Well, to answer these and other related questions, we have joined us online Dr. Lekem Simaj, psychologist, chief ideator of Above and Beyond, and Mr. Kevin Bailey, co-host of The Mailbox on Love 101, psychotherapist and counseling psychologist. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning,
hello,
Dr.
Hello.
Morning, Dr. Samaj.
Morning.
My brother.
Hey.
Good to have you both with us. All right, gentlemen, let's see how we can deal with this topic. But before we even delve into the meat of our discussion, could you share with us what your initial thoughts when you first read or heard about the article I just read? Dr. Samaj, you first.
It does happen. Woefully underreported, almost as frequent as when women are abused by men, because it's a human issue. You know, there are people who settle dispute with violence. And oftentimes, there's a common connection in psychology. Frustration oftentimes leads to aggression. Now, aggression can be emotional, aggression can be verbal, aggression can be physical. And there's a wonderful song, that says, "Man smart, but woman smarter." So they know how to tip the scales very easily. And the example you gave is a classic example, whereby if the woman initiates the aggressive behavior, once the man retaliates or responds, he's in trouble. So my advice to men, you can't win in any kind of an altercation with a woman. Once you get to the point where you're going to be getting in an altercation, because guess what? If you win, you lose.
What?
If you win, you lose. Yeah, man.
Hold on.
Look how Reverend Toussaint beat up the woman. It's a woman.
Don't use me. Don't use me as example.
All right. Look how Mr. Bailey beat up the woman.
Don't use me.
You see? So if you win, you lose. And now if you lose, you double lose. Because, you got beat by her. And I want to, as we get further in discussion, I make no distinction between the emotional, the verbal, and the physical. And because women master the first two. By age 5, girls usually are socialized into a concept called malice. Have you ever heard a little boy say, "Come don't talk to Kevin. Come don't talk to Mary. Come don't talk to Joan." And they collectively get together and say, "We're not talking to her." So they learn very early how to withhold emotion and how to use verbal abuse. So they master this. Men are not very good at it. So they beat us on that. So that's my opening remarks.
Yeah. Let me hear you, Kevin, Mr. Bailey.
Dr. Hassan, totally agree with Dr. Semaj. I could just say this one finish, you know. And let me tell you, before males are born, I think they have been abused by females. In the sense that even the things that women would put in their bodies, lack of preparation for the child who is about to come. I think it can start there. And then if they are not in relationship with a man, the displacement of anger, the fact that they can't catch the man who has left them, they displace that on the male child. So we know of the abuse that boys go through because of mothers who haven't dealt with their unresolved issue and work to a place of calmness or equilibrium. And they displace that anger, a whole heap of beating, a whole heap of abuse, a whole heap of stuff. Then you check the school system where the girls can joke you with pencil and all kind of stuff. And guess what? Once the teacher looking at you responsible, you the boy, you getting the punishment. But it's the girl who started all of it. Yes, because you're male. And I totally agree. Yes. This has been going on forever. And I think it's great that we're talking about it because boys, men, they have been suffering in secret, and the embarrassment and the shame that is created around us wanting to reveal it, wanting to share it. And it comes out in the example you give with the police. It's a general cultural, almost an acceptance that men do not have feelings. Men are supposed to just suck it up and keep it and deal with it because you're a man and you don't have any feeling.
Yes.
That is what I think has been played out as well.
Dr. Semaj, in the example given there from the Gleaner, what are the usual ways in which men react to such abuses? And what are your concerns regarding?
Well, you see, the options are, again, along the dimensions, again, and almost anyone he takes, he will be in trouble. And I'll tell the one I recommend. First of all, if he gets to, let's say he tries to match her verbally, then those around you start calling Mr. Lashy. Or you're trying to trace her, you're trying to trace her off, woman, all right? If you now match it emotionally, what a man going like, you're up to your feelings. You carry feelings for me. And it actually, by saying nothing or doing nothing, then those around now will call you soft and call you idiot. And especially if her friends are involved, which oftentimes that can be the case. Now, my advice, look, if a relationship is a voluntary activity, it is something that you signed up for, you actively, and maybe a whole other program. We can now discuss the routine, situationship and relationship, because a lot of people get into things that they never even negotiated it. I regularly say that most children in Jamaica, the phrase that announce their advent is, I miss the period, And then the woman says, "Where you tell me that for?" The man, where you tell me that for? And then the argument started right there. So because there was no a priori discussion that, listen, I want us to be a family. This is a long-term involvement. So a lot of things just drifted. It happens to take you, like, and the person start come by your house and next thing them leave a toothbrush and then leave a shirt and then and before you know it. So many of our, I wouldn't call them relationship, many of our situationships just emerge. This concept conceived in sin and shaped in iniquity. Walk on by the morning, can't come with the evening. So all of those forces are at work. So that we never negotiated our differences. We never we never got counseling to find out how we vary and how we're going to solve our disputes and so on. So the result, when things start, we resort to the most base means. The advice that I give men in general with these things, your only option is to step aside. Step aside. After you talk about, wouldn't even start by going to the police. You must have a mutual friend that both of you.
Dr. Samaj, my apologies. Could you just hold that thought? I'm going to take a break and be right back.
Sure.
Center, the only full care eye service center in St. Anne.
The time by
Phoenix Health and Vision Center
is
7:15.
Yo, you didn't hear Wagwan? Alcor gone crazy. Saturday, July 24 and Sunday, July 25. It's the Alcor Massive Crazy Yard Sale. Up to 70% off windows, doors, accessories, and more. Windows as low as 2,000 JA. Yes, it's the Massive Crazy Yard Sale. Taking place at Alcor Windows and Doors, 12 Shortwood Road, July 24 to 25. Some items might be dented, shop worn, or in odd sizes and shapes. Alcor gone crazy.
Alcor Windows and Doors.
Quality you can see.
NIS pensioners, avoid the wait. Get your NIS pension straight to your bank account. It's easy. Simply visit the Ministry of Labor and Social Security's website, mlss.gov.jm, or the nearest NIS office and collect the direct deposit application form. Then complete the form and submit it along with supporting documents to the NIS office nearest you. Avoid crowds and long lines. Get your money when you want it. The National Insurance Scheme, always working for you.
The first sound they make is to simply let the world know they're here. And then it's our duty to help them show the world why they're here in the first place.
Give them every advantage with the Guardian Achiever, a plan that provides for their educational dreams and protects their health and life in the process. For more information, call 888-4LIFE to speak to an advisor or visit myguardiangroup.com.
Oh, welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint, and in this, the first watch, we are discussing the whole matter of when men are abused by women, realities and possibilities. And we have online Kevin Bailey, co-host of the Mailbox, psychologist, and Dr. Lekim Semaj, psychologist, among many other things. Dr. Semaj, before the break, you were responding to the whole matter of the usual ways in which men respond to these abuses and your concerns accordingly. Go ahead, please.
You see, but I started a premise of that. Look, each of us human beings, we are sovereign beings. No one has a right to abuse us. Your partner, the police, the government, nobody has. Human rights, it's straight up. No one has a right to abuse you, whether verbally, emotionally, definitely not physically. Now, if you're in a relationship, an intimate partner, domestic partner, and you are in a situation where oftentimes abuse has two sides to it, you know. It's conflict, it's frustration. There's a wonderful line from a Marley song that says that if you get down and quarrel every day, you're saying prayers to the devil, I say. And devil I pray to. If every day this is a sign that something is wrong with the relationship. Now, my first thing, try to get it fixed. Start with somebody close to you who knows both of you. And then if that is not working, listen, there are times people come into your life for a reason, sometimes for a season, rarely is it forever.
Yeah. Yes. Thanks for that. Mr. Kevin, how you respond to persons who say, boy, what a man they talk about? I mean, the cases of abuse are more so in terms of women. Women are the one who suffer abuse. I mean, how widespread is this, would you say, Mr. Bailey? How commonplace is it?
Well, first of all, I'd say, as was mentioned, Dr. Semaj, it's a human issue. We abuse each other. And at least we can start as a given that for whatever reason, we do hurt each other, sometimes deliberately, intentionally. We hurt each other verbally, the words that we speak, deep criticism, holding each other in contempt. We emotionally, where, there's stonewalling and silent treatment, passive aggression behavior. their spiritual abuse even, and that's something we can talk about as well, sexual abuse. So we do that. No, I believe that is very common. It's just that culturally we haven't been paying attention to boys and men who are being abused. I haven't seen the empirical evidence, but I know it has existed from time immemorial. And so I believe it exists. What I think now is just how do we create safe spaces for the boys to men to recognize that it is okay for them to hear that I am hurt. It is okay to say that I am hurt. Where are these safe spaces? Can I talk to a brethren about it and realize that the brethren may be abused as well? And some persons, they don't know that they have been abused. They thought this was just normal. They don't know. They really don't know. And if you don't know, how can you correct it? And a big point for me is why do we enter relationships? Is it supposed to be because of love? And love for self and love for others, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So this whole matter of self-esteem, how you think and feel about yourself, because your skin is your biggest boundary. You are given authority to take care of your skin, everything under your skin, your dreams, your happiness, your joy, your purpose, your goals, all of that belong to you. And I think a part of training and education is for boys and men to realize they can own it. They can choose responses. So if they are in problem, under stress, the fight, flight, you can choose to leave, call a brethren, talk to somebody, a counselor, your pastor, a coach, but there are people out there that are willing to assist. So we may have to have further conversation in helping our boys to men to realize that it is okay to say, I am hurt. I am hurt in this way and I need some help.
Yes. How are we going to address those things, though, Mr. Bailey? When in the example given, the police is called, and it seems as if, based on what he's saying, the allegation is that she would say that he was the abuser, and over time it seems as if, based on what he's saying, they never took the whole matter seriously. How does one respond to that, Mr. Bailey?
It's very difficult. However, the power of choice, we all have the power of choosing what is our best response. He may have had to leave the relationship. He may have had to strategize to remove himself from that relationship because it's not healthy. Take away himself. Take away yourself. Remember, one of the first characteristics of a healthy relationship is that I feel safe. Safety. Nobody is going to harm me intentionally, deliberately, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all of those things. I must feel safe. If that first characteristic isn't present, you have a problem.
Your take on that, Lekim?
It is clearly we need to start sensitizing the police for dealing with these matters. Because even on the other side with female abuse, oftentimes it is not treated with with the level of respect that it requires. But definitely, if a man should report these kind of issues, now one of the things why the female situation gets more attention in many, many ways, women have more help and help-seeking behaviors than men. Women will seek help faster. Men try to tough it out and suck it up, and we can deal with it, man. Another problem. So from a little boy, boys don't cry. You're not supposed to show these kind of emotions and feelings. What Mr. Bailey says is very important. We need more safe spaces for men. We need to socialize men to understand that, listen, your feelings are valid too. And what happens many times, when a man gets to a certain point where so much has been bottled up, and guess what? Pressure bust pipe. Right. Anywhere it maga, it pop. So before it gets to that level, we have to start having these kind of conversation. I'm happy to see the evolution in our society where many schools are now having Boys' Day.
Yes.
Where they have discussions with just the boys alone and so on. Many organizations are having, Men's Day. I did a part of a workshop recently with the Jamaica Teachers Association. They had a men's conference. and just dealing with men in the classroom, men in the teaching. So we really need. I had a program on television some time ago, which to me was a very useful thing called Man Talk.
Yeah.
Man Talk,
yes. Mr. Bailey has his own version of this now. So we need more of those spaces where you can really, man and man, can share ideas, thoughts, and feelings, and so on. So,
well, isn't Lekim, I'm sorry, isn't part of the problem that they say we are wired to internalize rather than to verbalize? Because ladies and girls normally verbalize better than we do, while we internalize. Isn't that a major part of the problem?
Well, a part of the culture says that, but it doesn't mean that the nice thing about culture can be transformed, culture can change. And when something is not working for you, it needs to be. And now what we have come to realize is that this tough exterior that males, boys are socialized to present, oftentimes, as a still water runs deep. Something has been bottled up for months, for years. But it has to be dealt with. First and foremost, the wonderful thing about men and women, 99% of our genes, of our makeup is identical. We are more similar than we are different. Now, the socialization and the expectation is what brings about a large of the differences. And if something is not working for you, look, women have made some major steps in the limitations that society was pushing. A woman can't be this, and she can't be that, and she can't do this, and but a lot of males are just small of themselves. Boy, me a man, we can't do that. We can't do them kind of work. Women would say there's no work she can't do. But man will say, boy, man don't do them kind of work there. And limits himself. So look, we have to grow.
Okay. Yes, okay. Kevin, your thoughts on that?
No, I totally agree. I think it's an opportunity as men to make some changes. All things are possible if we only believe, we have the power of choice. To me, that is very, very important.
Yes.
No matter where you find yourself, you can change your behavior if you change your thinking. And many of our men have this distortional, self-defeating, self-limiting thinking. Dr. Toussaint, for a long time, did a program to try and change that mindset in a relaxed atmosphere so that man could see it modeled before him. Because honestly, we do need to develop more good role models for the man them see, for the boys them recognize that yes, to be educated is a great thing. To have education is a big thing, because there is this thing going around is that if you are educated, you're sissy and you're soft and not now go on for you really. That kind of culture, we need to change that we celebrate people who are brilliant, people who are intellectuals, people who are thinking that they can always grow and become better. I think if we shift mindset, the man then will start to realize, my gosh, no man, but this thing cool, that you can have businesses and you can plan and you can make choices to better yourself and grow. I think that is what we're all a part of. And I'm kind of excited though, because I really believe that just having the conversations can stimulate persons to reflect and to make some of the changes that we desire.
Great. All right, we have 2 minutes. 1 minute now. Lekim, any final thoughts?
I could easily say ditto, but the notion that we can change. That notion about when I was in high school, it was fashionable to be bright. It was fashionable, but something has happened. This kind of thug mentality. So bad man will do this, bad man will do that. As dumb society, and a lot of men have lost their sheen. So we have a responsibility to raise the bar.
Yes, and my final comment is yes. Choose to grow, choose to embrace new information and learn, and be humble enough to recognize when you don't know something, you don't know. Seek seek from people who know, and then listen to them. Be humble enough to listen and learn so you can make the changes. I really would love men and boys to kind of have that kind of mindset.
All right. Thank you so very much for what I regard as an interesting, informative, and insightful discussion. And keep up the good work that you have been doing in your different areas of society. God bless you. Have a wonderful.
Thank you.
Same to you, my brother.
Okay.
Great.
Have a good day.
Listeners, the Morning Watch will return in just a moment.
The time by JN will help you find a way is
7:30 and a half.
49 years later and still going strong. Under the Law helps you to know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. The program is brought to you on Mondays by the Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy. Under the Law, Mondays at 6:20 a.m., 2:35, 6:45, and 9:10 p.m. on Love 101 FM.
When all is done and said, me love me shawty bread. You love me shawty what? You love me shawty bread. And it was made by honey bun. You love me shawty bread.
I love summer, and the momentum just keeps growing on Love 101 FM, the family station, as we continue the journey across the nation. This time, we're heading to the parish of Westmoreland. We begin with worship this Sunday, July 18, at Central Tabernacle Deliverance Center, 91 Great George Street, Savannah, Mar. And you are invited to come and share in the Youth Sunday service beginning at 11 a.m. with host Pastor Bishop Joyce Bernard and main speaker Pastor Jerome Francis. Come meet Love FM's very own youth ambassador, Siobhan Blair, and be part of the start of a week of exciting engagement with the people of Westmoreland under the banner, I Love Summer. The church service begins at 11 a.m. this Sunday, July 18, and will be carried on our Facebook page, YouTube, and on the radio frequencies of Love 101 FM, the family station. Be sure not to miss it.
Praise the Lord with sweetest song from the highest.
Christian Charles has something special for you this and every Friday at 11:45 a.m. Listen to the information carefully, then answer the questions in the Christian Charles Financial Quiz Corner. There is so much to learn, and you can win something fabulous from Christian Charles. That's the Christian Charles Financial Quiz Corner, Fridays at 11:45 a.m. Christian Charles, when you think loans, think Christian Charles. And it's on the family station, Love 101.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's take a look at the newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing. In the Gleaner, Paul Davis, technical staff depart Mount Pleasant. And then we see here deadbeat letters, millions in pauper burial fees owed for years by government. Serious? And then never again on anniversary's eve, government vows never to allow repeat of street people scandal. We certainly hope so. In the Observer, special police squad to go after Mobe criminals. And also St. Ann Cop issues warning to dog owners. And then finally, Japan foreign minister visiting Jamaica. Those are some of the major headlines in the newspapers. Well, coming up next, we'll read some of the feedback from our Facebook and WhatsApp question. What are your thoughts on the direction of the Jamaican gospel music industry? Please share your responses on our Facebook page, Love 101 FM, and also whether by text or voice note to WhatsApp 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your responses later on in the program, but before, well, let me just say, we'll be right back.
Hey,
Hey, we hit the road again this weekend in our I Love Summer Youth Fellowship Takeover. St. Elizabeth, it's your time. So join me, Siobhan Blair, this Friday, July 16, as we take over the Middle Portals New Testament Church of God. It's a youth fellowship you can't afford to miss. And if you are unable to swing by, you can watch us live on Facebook and on YouTube. It's our I Love Summer Youth Fellowship Takeover. Our I Love Summer Spotlight Youth Fellowship Takeover happens this and every Friday at 7 p.m. This St. Elizabeth leg is sponsored by Christian Charles. When you think loans, think Christian Charles. University of the Commonwealth Caribbean, fostering leadership and innovation. Shade purified drinking water, drink up, stay cool. Phosphate your electrical and LED people and sit at home worldwide. It's time to explore.
Every weekday on Love 101, we give you a time to celebrate your family and friends inside Celebration Club. Call in and send birthday, anniversary, other special day greetings, or just heal up your friends just because. It's Celebration Club, and every first and last Tuesday, it's brought to you by Fontana Pharmacy. Fontana Pharmacy, so good inside. It's a Celebration Club, celebrating families and friends. That's the way love goes. Every weekday at 3:45 on the Family Station, Love 101.
The weekend is fast approaching, and so is Hope Rocks. We've got 4 doses of entertainment and worship lined up for you this Saturday, July 17 at 8 p.m. with Nickette Williams Morgan from St. Catherine, repping the parish of Mandeville, Benicia Stone, Tameka Simpson and Sadra Madonna Lindsay, rep the parish of Clarendon. Watch live on our Facebook page and YouTube channel at Love 101 FM Jamaica, and come rep your parish. You don't want to miss our I Love Summer Parish Spotlight announcement of the University of Commonwealth Caribbean Scholarship winners, where a business place in the parishes of St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, and St. Elizabeth will receive a scholarship to attend the UCC. That board, oi! That's Hope Rocks. It happens this Saturday, July 17 at 8 p.m. inside the Gospel Music Machine with Nigel Wilkinson, brought to you by Love 101, the family station.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Now, last Sunday was the fifth staging of the Sterling Gospel Music Awards, which is, among other things, a showcase of outstanding Jamaican contemporary gospel music, musicians, artists, and associates. Be that as it may, there are those who have been and are asking, is contemporary gospel music moving to the right beat? Now it's against background that in this, the second watch, we will examine and evaluate today's gospel music industry. And in so doing, we have joining us Reverend Don McDowell, CEO of Music Business Technology Trainers, artist manager, recording engineer, songwriter, and beat builder. We also have online Mr. Nigel Wilkinson, host of the Gospel Music Machine on Love 101, managing director of Back to the Bible, Jamaica. Good morning, gentlemen. Let me say it again. Good morning, gentlemen. I'm seeing Reverend McDowell, but you are muted, Rev.
Okay. Sorry about that.
All right.
Your listeners.
Nigel with us? Not seeing Nigel as yet or hearing him. Okay. Welcome again, Reverend McDowell.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, Nigel, we're hearing.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes, welcome, Nigel. Good to have you with us.
Joy to be here on East Family Station.
Great. Imagine that. All right. Now, gentlemen, how would you define gospel music and what distinguishes it from any other type of music? Beginning with you, Reverend Matt Dowell.
I would describe gospel music. I'm hearing a feedback in my headphones.
Yes, we'll try to sort that out momentarily. Go ahead.
Yes.
Reverend.
Okay. Yeah, I would consider gospel music a subset of Christian music genre. Essentially, it is technically expressing the life and work of Jesus Christ in song, based on the four Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Oh wow, the delay is really giving me a hard time.
Yeah. We're trying to sort it out.
And so, gospel music is made for praise and worship, for listening, for pleasure, and for Christian entertainment, I would say. And in terms of the distinction you asked about, I would consider that the lyrical content, what the song has to say, and its context in terms of Christian life and righteousness would be the distinctive factors.
Okay, thank you very much. Going to throw to you now, Nigel. What are your thoughts?
Yes. Well, I have to say it too. Gospel music is music about the gospel of Jesus Christ, declaring that Jesus Christ has died for our sins, that there is in fact redemption, and all that goes with that testimony to the life and witness of the believer. And that is what distinguishes it from any other type of music. Whether those who come close, they call it inspirational, that's another level, or religious. What is distinctive about gospel music is speak to what Christ, the Son of God, did for mankind. That's how it.
Let me ask you, therefore, gentlemen, if there's no mention of Jesus Christ in the song, is it gospel music? Reverend Matt Dowell. Is he still on with us? Okay. Rev? You heard the question, Rev? All right, having some challenges there. Nigel, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, let's work with you until Rev sorts out his line. Yeah, if Jesus is not mentioned in it, is it still gospel music?
Wow, that's what $1 billion question that has been around for quite some time.
Yeah.
And I'll show to the book of Ruth. For me, if
Wait, stick up in here, Nigel. You make an interesting point. You mentioned the book of Ruth, because I guess some people may not know why you mentioned Ruth. You want to expound on that, please?
Yeah, because God is clearly mentioned.
It's not mentioned at all in the book.
So right. People have those. For me, it is if Jesus or Christ or Son of God or the specific reference to Jesus is not in the song, I don't necessarily have an issue with it. If I know where the person is coming from. So the witness of the individual makes a difference for me. So if, I don't even know the secularities to call it in, but if John Brown, who is a secular artist, singing on the pop scene, sings a particular kind of song, I know their lifestyle, I know what they're about, what they're about. Whereas if I can pick a name out of the hat, if Kevin Downswell does a song, and I know where he's coming from, I can figure where he's going with the song. That's me. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Reverend McDowell, are you back with us?
Yeah, I'm back with you.
Yes.
I tend to agree with Nigel in what he has just said. I think if the song, the lyric of the song expresses the righteousness of Christ without saying Jesus or God, I think that once we can
I'm sorry, Reverend McDowell. Sorry to do this to you, but could you just hold that thought? We're at a break. We'll be right back.
When all is done and said, love me shorty bread. You love me shorty what? You love me shorty bread. And it was made by honey bun. You love me shorty bread.
DJ Bongs. Make we rich together with Digicel. Just call 142 or dial star 142 number sign from your prepaid phone for a chance to win your share of $42 million in cash and prizes. Enter to get $500 bonus credit. Smartphone users get 500 megabytes any use data and 1 gigabyte BIP data, while non-smartphone users get 10 minutes and 50 SMS free for Digicel to Digicel calls and texts. Each entry costs $100. From now until September 14th, make we rich together with Digicel. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
It's back and it's bigger than ever. It's the Fostrich Super Summer Sale, Monday, July 19 to 29, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get your project started with amazing deals on electrical lighting, LED bulbs, and more. Stuck in the office? Then shop online. Visit fostrich.com/shop and save. It's the Fostrich Super Summer Sale, Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay, July 19 to 29. See you there.
Phoenix Health and Vision Center now has 2 locations. St. Anne's Bay, 65 Main Street beside the Health Center. And now Shop 30 Champion Plaza, Falmouth, Trelawney. You heard me right. Shop 30 Champion Plaza, Falmouth, Trelawney. The only full-service eye care center for all your designer frames and designer glasses. Plus, complete eye care. Book all your appointments now in St. Anne's Bay. Call 876-972-2388. 876-589-8327. For Falmouth and its environs, call this number, 876-533-0540. Looking forward to seeing you at both locations. Phoenix Health and Vision Center. Now at Champion Plaza, Falmouth, Trelawney.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint, and in this, the second watch, we are asking the question, is contemporary gospel music moving to the right beat? As we examine and evaluate the gospel music industry. And we have online Mr. Nigel Wilkinson and the Reverend Don McDowell. Reverend McDowell, before the break, you were responding to the question, do we have to have mention of Jesus, God, for it to be gospel music? Please continue.
Yes, as I was saying, I agree with Nigel's position. For example, let's say there is a song about love, and it is as expressed by Christ, not necessarily literally, but conceptually, and one can relate to that from the scriptures, then I don't see a problem. But one of the things I would say is that many times in the music industry, the large companies, when you go to them with songs that say Jesus or God, they will literally force you to remove those names from the songs because they want to make their songs marketable as inspirational sounds, and that I oppose.
I think, can I jump in here?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think one of the issues raised by Rev is how, as a consumer, you don't always know when that is the case, when it is the recording company. And that we have heard artists, particularly international teams, share this, that sometimes they are pressured to do that. But then as a consumer, you may not have access to that background information. How do you know the difference? And that is why some gospel artists, what they do is they become independent. They go out and establish their own labels, so they dictate to themselves what they do. And so they can sing about Jesus as much as they want, because they answer to themselves.
Yeah, but might I add that that approach is perhaps the best approach by the artist who goes independent, because you really don't want to deny Christ. Now, sometimes the inspiration to write a song might come, and the song is the gospel in some way, but it doesn't. The melodies that you develop don't really include the name God, Yahweh, Christ, whatever, whichever of them. The problem is that many times when they go independent, they are limited in the marketplace, because most times they don't have the resources to wide scale.
Yes. Yeah, man.
But it's a choice we have to make.
Right. And we're talking about contemporary gospel music mainly in this segment. But what about non-contemporary gospel music? I want to call it that. When you compare the two, are there any concerns that you have, Nigel?
Wow. I be careful. I stay on the station, right? I think
the gospel music machine. It can't get more contemporary than your show.
It's interesting, because what I think I hear and is, you know, those of us who come from a certain era, the Andre Crouch, the Walter Hawkins, the how do you have to know, the music, the lyrical content in particular, are songs that become standards in our churches today, simply because of the lyrical content. They are closely aligned with the Word of God.
Okay.
I think one of the challenges I have is some of the contemporary music. When you go through the lyrics, you have to say, all right, where's this lining up with? I know there are some local gospel artists, groups that I've known, that when they're in the process of writing songs, that they take their lyrics to pastors to be vetted. And in some cases, they have changed a line or two because they want to ensure that it lines up with the Word of God. And I think that's the difference. When a song aligns itself with the Word of God, they become standards. They are entered into hymn books and song books as standards that 10, 20, 25, 30 years from now, they will be in the book. When it is the kind of music which I hear sometimes, you're on bus. So you put some lyrics together, you write a certain rhythm. As for my concern is the time spent in the writing. Yeah, there's some cute phrases, catchy phrases, but it's not gospel. And it's not the Word gospel. It does not line itself with the Word of God. So that's what I'm observing.
Reverend McDowell, your take on that?
I think he's spot on. I would add, though, the fact that in the context of the contemporary genres, we see people using, like all the Jamaican genres now. We do have persons singing gospel, and the Caribbean as well, like soca and so on. And we are already familiar with the soul and the R&B of the earlier times.
Right.
We also see gospel music now in hip hop and rock, and people using the communication devices of the street, using the slangs and the expressions of the street to communicate the message that they have in the DJ style, still singing. And sometimes people use some selected phrases like, yeah, preemie, and that's saying you're looking at me, you're checking me out, you're whatever. And you'll find that in some of our gospel songs, some people use that. In addition to that, I think
those are the slangs, of the day.
Yeah, I think the artists are using the street dress codes. But I would hope that it never gets to a kind of what I'm going to just label a degenerate level where you see a lot of nakedness. But I've had been in discussions where females complain about the tightness of the male gospel artist trousers. Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that those are things that needs to be looked at. The music videos to date are generally fairly sober, but what can happen is that in the presentation of gospel music with the visuals, one might get into situations where people kind of go over the edge, or they just push the limit a little bit. I also think that it's kind of a bit of a travesty that we don't hear enough of, and I'm speaking of the Jamaican gospel music, and I'm talking about the praise and worship songs. I'm talking the jump up songs, the polka style songs, if you want. I'm talking about our Jamaican music forms not being played as much in our churches, especially on Sunday morning. But if you want to make a fundraiser, they will call in all these particular artists, but they don't get a chance to come and sing on the platform on a Sunday morning. And I think there's an improvement in the excellence of the lyrics, the melodies, the composition in terms of music, and the recording quality, which we have seen over the last years. And certainly the coming of Love 101, it began. People began.
But Dan.
Yes, sir.
Does it really matter from the point of view of the average young person today about all that was just said by both of you in terms of the lyrical content, the biblical bases, the dress code? Isn't it about a feeling and a vibe, Dan?
I think there are some who I can't judge the motive of the individuals, but there are some who, based on what I see in various WhatsApp groups, who are just projecting self, right? To some extent, and there are others who are genuinely wanting to give that message of Jesus Christ and His redemptive work to the world. And I think, if you look at it, the wheat and the tares concept, that's how we have to lead it.
Okay. Nigel, your take on that?
Yeah, you know, we have to be careful because if we get into the commercialization, you know, there are some products that stand out because they remain the same. There is a brand of something out there.
Consistency.
All it has are two letters joined by the symbol for and. And it has stood the test of, when you see it, you know what it stands for. It hasn't bent, it hasn't swayed to all the differences. It remains a standard. I believe that is what should happen with the gospel in music. Yes, we can use all the different genres, but we must stay close to the cross. I want to comment on being invited to church to sing versus a fundraiser and good feeling. That is part of my concern, because even sometimes in the preaching of the gospel, we preach, come to Jesus and all your problems are gone. Hello, you know, and then people come into church and there's a tribulation starts on them, you know, and it's a different thing. We must speak the truth. And the issue I have with local Caribbean artists is that, so I do other programs elsewhere, and sometimes there are topics I need music to address. And I cannot find music that addresses different issues within Christendom, you know, that I can play. And so I have to fall back on international artists because they address different issues within Christendom. And so...
Tell you what.
Yeah.
Tell you what, Nigel, as you know very well, time is up on us. We have to cut it there. But I want to thank you both, gentlemen, for joining us. Really stimulating discussion and continue the good work that you have been doing. in enhancing the gospel music industry across the world. God bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, listeners, for being with us. For information, or get copies of this program, call our production department, 76968959627. You can now listen to the Morning Watch on our Love 101 app and watch it on Love 101 FM Facebook page and the YouTube channel. This has been the Morning Watch. Thanks to our producer, Miss Kathy Gale, and our guests. Please join Mr. Stokely Marshall next week as he continues to look at the issues of the day. I'm Dylan Toussaint, reminding you to be purposeful, faithful, thankful, and watchful as I hand you back to Love in the Morning with Siobhan Blair.
And the Morning Watch today was brought to you by Honeybun. Big thanks to Honeybun. It's 8 o'clock on the Sound of Love. It's